Everything you've practiced on purpose or by default has grown something. The thoughts you tend, the emotions you feed, the habits you water. Some of it you're proud of, some of it maybe not. But here's the truth. When you take full responsibility for what you're creating, you unlock the power to create something better. Welcome to Prime and Shine, a place to return to yourself, activate joy, and take ownership of your evolution. This is day 22 of 25. We are creeping up on the finish line. But really, this is just the beginning. You know that, right? The link's in the description if you want to join us. It is free now, won't always be. Catch it while you can. Today, we are naming something sacred and powerful. You're responsible for your joy, not in a blame yourself kind of way, but in a claim yourself kind of way. When you recognize that your life reflects what you practice, intentionally or not, you gain the power to shift it. You stop waiting for things to change out there and you start shaping up things in here. And you stop giving your energy away to shame and blame and regret because you've got more important things to grow, right? Here's the brain science. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to rewire based on input and experience. Your brain doesn't care whether that input and experience was accidental or intentional. The more you think a thought, feel a feeling, or act in a certain way, the more your brain reinforces those patterns. It takes the roads more traveled, right? Not a huge surprise. And that includes the patterns you love and the ones you'd like to ditch. Taking ownership of your brain's efforts isn't about finding fault or being proud in unhealthy ways. Taking ownership is about responsibility. That's all. And sometimes our thought patterns are still firing and wiring the same way they did when we were 5 years old or 3. Ooh, we aren't responsible for what happened to us then, but we are responsible for whether we hold on to our habitual response now. So I'm going to repeat that because I think it's really important. Whatever happened to you that was really hard for you when you were little tiny and you didn't have the ability to stop it or change it, whatever happened to you then that was terrifying down to your core, that is not something you're responsible for. You reacted in a way in your brain that saved you in that moment, or you wouldn't be here. And that reaction fit somebody who didn't have any other way to respond and make change in their world, right? But now you're a totally different person. You have the ability to make change in your world. You're empowered where before you weren't. And so I'll tell you the great news. You're going to notice sometimes that you react in a way that you're like, whoa. And other people are like, whoa. And when that happens, if you're on the lookout, you'll go, there's my opportunity to change that. Because that's what you have the responsibility to change. Are those reactions that once helped you very much and now aren't serving you. They're not a good fit for the you you've become and are becoming. They're not a good fit for the circumstances. And other people are feeling a response out of you, a reaction out of you that really didn't have anything to do with them. This is your chance to rewire it. That is where your responsibility lies. And now we know it. We can grow it, right? Okay, so it's up to us to make the effort to see where we're reactive and make a change. It's up to us to prime into a new way of being. This isn't about shame, it's about radical self-responsibility, because when you take ownership of what you've created, both the beautiful and the messy, you unlock your power to choose. You're not at the mercy of your moods and your circumstances. You become the gardener of your inner world. It's about reclaiming. Oh my gosh, I have so much reclaiming to do in my garden out there and in here. Tender reclaiming, working with what is there, celebrating life, all the messy way through, all the beautiful way through, planting what I intend. And the moment you say yes to that reclamation, your power multiplies. So here's the invitation today. Ask yourself, what in my life is the result of intentional effort? What can I celebrate there? I did it. I made a choice. And what have I been reinforcing without realizing it? What might I want to shift? Maybe you've been showing up for your joy, and maybe you've also been rehearsing worry and self-doubt and resentment. Comes up for me. Both can be true, and owning both with compassion is the beginning of freedom. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story from my life. When I was getting started in my first year or two with Collier Connections, I was learning a bunch of technology that I had no idea how to use before. And my eldest son was so kind and sat down with me to show me how to do it. And while he was showing me how to do it, I was saying things like, oh, when this happens, it just really stresses me out. Ooh, this is where I just want to run away. And he looked at me so calmly and he said, Mom, are you sure that saying that is really helping you? You know, I mean, I'm going to be honest. When he said that, I kind of wanted to just put a paper bag over his head and be like, but another part of me was like, he's right. This is not lining up with who I am now. But that was like a really, really real stressed out response. I mean, my heart was going, my breathing was shallow. Okay, so I took a big, deep look. It took me days to take that big, deep look. And I decided that I would approach it differently. And I would meet those feelings with compassion, work through them, really connect with what mattered to me, and prime into feeling curious, feeling a sense of readiness. And I also upframed my response from, which is another skill that I teach, from, this stresses me out, to, it's a good thing that when I've learned this, it will be so much easier. So there's the upframe. So I really listen now after that experience, because it was a big, deep one. I have learned to tune in to where what I'm saying doesn't line up. When I hear myself speaking shortly to Seda, I go, what's going on here? You know, I hear myself saying, like, what the heck? Like, that's not something I say consciously much anymore. That is like part of an old habit pattern. And so I ask myself first, like, are my basic needs met? Because when I'm skinny on sleep, that kind of thing can pop up. And it makes sense because those are very old neural pathways. I said that stuff for 50 years. And, you know, it's not like, oh, that's a big problem, saying, oh, what the heck? But the more things that I say and do that don't line up with the new me of who I am, it feels uncomfortable and I lose energy, and I can't afford it. I'm like moving forward. I'm choosing that I want to use all my energy to go where I want to go with you. We are on the path to joy. We are on the path to changing the world. And we start with changing ourselves. And that is the degree of attentiveness I give myself. I'll bet that you are ready to plant some sunflowers in your subconscious mind right now. And I would love to help you with that. So let's meditate together, okay? Let's do our priming meditation. In your think box, bring to mind something from your future that you would love to have go really well, better than you could have ever imagined. Okay, it might be something from today, it might be something from later in your summer, it might be something from down the road. And you could also in your think box decide what are you going to do better today than you've done in the past. It might be breathing more regularly and deeply. It might be relaxing at the beginning of the meditation, and so that you're really, really, really open to feeling more than you ever have before. You decide what feels like the best fit. And as usual, park your car and shut off that lawnmower. If you're driving a lawnmower, definitely park it. I hope you're wearing a helmet while you drive that thing. Those are dangerous, you know. The last time I drove a lawnmower, I actually drove up the side of an apple tree. They have not let me drive a lawnmower since. Okay, safe meditating only here, please. Are you ready? I invite you to get comfortable and rest into the surface that is holding you. Closing your eyes if you feel comfortable. Noticing the sensation in your body where it meets the surface you're resting on. Breathing into your belly. And on the exhale, relaxing and releasing any tension that is ready to move. Enjoying the breath flowing in and out. Enjoying being here with your body. All of your parts coming together, all welcome and held with love. And bringing to mind something you're grateful for, and letting that gratitude fill your body, mind, and heart. What needs are met in this thing you are grateful for? Maybe needs for connection, growth, maybe wonder. Enjoy the sensation of those needs being met, feeling them in your body, and breathing into it. And now bring to mind something that you would love to go more beautifully than you've ever imagined. There is that possibility, one of countless in the universe. Asking yourself, what if this situation went this way? And allowing yourself to be tickled on the inside by that possibility. You are playing, creating, expanding your view of what is possible and your feelings about what is possible. Shifting your attention to those feelings. Feeling into which needs are met in your imagining. Maybe a need for integrity. for care, for love, whatever the need is, embrace that. Feel the sensations as they move through your body. Notice where they expand, where they shift. Notice if they expand beyond your body. Breathe into them. Enjoying those sensations. Allowing the feeling to come in. It is always there. We're just moving everything away that might have stopped it and allowing it to come pouring through. Enjoying that. And then with your hand on your heart, feeling grateful for sitting down, laying down, being in your body with these feelings that nourish you, that fill you and inspire you. Gratitude for making the time to do this. Gratitude for this way of loving yourself, for this way of being present with who you are and who you are becoming. Gratitude for this space where we come together to share this inspiration. Gratitude for the energy that is generated here, that moves across time and space. The expansion of each of our dreams with the support of one another. Gratitude for the opportunity to embody these feelings, to live our life on this beautiful planet. Gratitude with joy. And when you are ready, bring your attention back to our circle. Did you find what you were looking for? Feeling y'all there. Really appreciating the vibe that we're generating. It's so needed and precious in this world. I have deeply appreciated, as always, the comments in the YouTube videos afterwards. And one in particular struck me yesterday, Circling Ravens. It said something about getting really kerfluffled in the process. Those weren't her words. In the process of priming and trying over and over again and not finding it and deciding to move away and come back and try a different practice. I love that because that is a kind of inner wisdom and a skillfulness. And Circling Ravens is a student of mine and has been for a bit now. And I love that she had another practice to pull from. So I just bring this to your attention because a couple of things. One is that priming is amazing as it is. It's not the be all end all. You are the be all end all. Your intuitive sense of how to find joy, that wayfinding for joy, that is the be all end all. The more skills, the more paths you know of, the easier it is to find that. So appreciating that I've had the opportunity to share this work and will continue sharing this work with a number of practices, and that Circling Ravens, that you grabbed that. Love that. And I hope more of you do. So if you're watching this live, I hope to see you soon at the home stretch party, which is happening in just about an hour. Oh my gosh. No matter how many of these primes you have done here or, watching the replays, please come and just celebrate and get inspired, because people are making amazing shifts. I mean, these are shifts of a lifetime for many of you, and they can be still. If you haven't felt that, oh my gosh, shift of a lifetime yet, give it a minute, okay? I want to say that another place that I do priming that's really important to me is as I'm falling asleep a lot of times, I will open my mind to what feels good. Imagining getting on the other side of something that's challenging and being like, oh, I love the idea of that working out in ways I can't even imagine, and just being like, if that happened, the what if that happened, I'd feel so relieved and relaxed. Oh my gosh. And feeling into that and just like checking in what other needs would be met and feeling that. Now what happens is this. My brain, which is like a rabbit race as I'm going to sleep, goes, oh, feel? Oh, okay. And rabbit race stops, and all the rabbits go and sit on the side of the racetrack and have a lemonade. And I am feeling, and I'm feeling those good feelings until the next thing you know, I wake up in the morning. Well, okay, I usually wake up in the middle of the night, cut a time or two, but I fall asleep faster than I would have imagined because my attention is on feeling. And that is so relaxing, actually. That uses a different kind of brainwaves. We're literally, the chemistry of what's going on that starts with our brainwaves slowing down, moving into alpha, moving into theta, especially as we're planning on going to sleep. Oh my gosh. To rest that way and then to allow yourself to drop off that way. Very powerful, because I'm also rewiring my subconscious mind and kind of tacking down that possibility for my future too, as I'm going to sleep. Really powerful time to do that. My subconscious mind will return to that more in the day. So great for falling asleep and great for future experiencing of that feeling without attachment to how it's going to come along. So I wanted to share that. And finally, today, in close, I invite you to look with love at your life. What has been planted there with intention? Your life, your one precious life. It reflects you, right? What's been planted with intention, and what has grown by default, and what will you choose to tend? You are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are the gardener. And when you take responsibility for all of it, then joy grows easier, because you're no longer resisting the truth. You're letting it lift you. So receive that good that you're growing. And if you don't love the crop, change out the seeds, because you, dear one, are a masterful creator. and your next harvest is already on its way. And we are going to be talking about that at the home stretch party. I can't wait to see you all. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.